Get a whiff of that sweet over there.
Hey, you! What do you think you're doing? Just don't let me see you here again.
A Mantiqueen.
Yeah. We felled it, mind. But we lost 2 runners and 5...
Hey, not so fast.
Just don't let me see you here again.
What's going on here?
Here they come!
As you were. Carry on. Hmm? Huh.
A Mantiqueen.
Yeah. We felled it, mind. But we lost 2 runners and 5 gun hands.
Total failure, then. So much for the ruins.
And hell only knows where the Vanoys are. They never showed.
I'm sure they're... let's talk later. It seems we have company.
Hey,
A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, you've found one. If you're looking for a teacher, I am one. Welcome to the Iconoclasts. The truth that I have come to learn and embrace since shedding the corporate yoke. Out here, we survive by the sheer strength of our spirit. We have no need for the endless rules and red tape of a corporate structure.
we do seem to burn through endless ammunition and medical tape, though.
Yes, well, such is life. Our descendants will enjoy safety and luxury, but our generation is the foundation on which that future is built. Now, why have you come? The Iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, motivated by our own beliefs, all petals on the same flower of enlightenment. Meanwhile, the board strangles the will of its workers. It is the penultimate exercise of a poisoned society where people are enslaved by a corporate ladder. We seek to replace their way of life with ours. Philosophism is the key to unlocking their Oh, yes. Gunships hover in our skies, ready for the day they decide to come to our doors waving banners of war. The perception of visionaries is often tainted by the lies of their oppressors. A sad state of affairs, to be sure. All right. Awakening is available to all whose minds are ready to accept it. What would you like to know?
I would like to know what you think Bokonu meant when he wrote, "Your work is to discover the truth, and then with all your heart give yourself to it."
Ah, how refreshing to have a scholar among us. Bokonu's text simply refers to our entire purpose, assisting the universe in realizing its own truth. let it guide us as it will.
It refers to giving oneself over to the plan. It is not some paean to an invisible creator in the sky.
Were there a truth to the grand plan in the first place, I and Bakonu might agree. But what we see as divine purpose is just one facet of the universe figuring itself out. To quote, "As a child looking at the leg of an elephant, unable to view it whole, we mistake the tiny scope of our understanding as the unfathomably large purpose of the universe."
You're not completely full of shit, I'll give you that. Even if you do twist things beyond recognition to suit your own beliefs.
Were my teachings beyond recognition, I dare say I wouldn't have a small army of followers who understand and believe.
I owe you an apology. I expected you to be a complete idiot. I'd say you're actually more in the 25% idiocy range.
Likewise. Now, I'm sorry. What was it you were asking? Ah, the Eternal. We are all part of the consciousness of the cosmos. Each of us plays a tiny role in the universe's continual journey toward understanding itself. You and I, and the rats and the mantis swarms. Divinity is in us all, and the Eternal is that divinity. Everyone, regardless of ability to believe, is another facet of the universe contemplating its own existence.
Ability to believe? I think you mean inability to tell fantasy from truth, which rules out any knowledgeable scientician.
Let us be clear. Neither of us can lay claim to being knowledgeable on this topic. It is a matter of belief. It is not as if OSI has gone and proven anything. Regardless, what were you saying? The point of no return. When your mind fully opens to the eternal truth. Every philosophist experiences it along the path to enlightenment. For many, it is the first brush with the cold of death, when they realize that all of their lives have boiled down into the single truth of that moment. Mine was witnessing my friend and colleague transform into the very evil we sought to combat. Now he runs MSI just like the overlords before him. Sanjar Nandi. He leads MSI out of Stellar Bay. Such a shame, the way his sensibilities have been corrupted over time. Not in the sense of a single entity, fashioning the universe as a whittler fashions a flute. The universe came into being over time, organically, naturally, and without purpose. In that sense, I suppose you could say that, in the interest of finding its purpose, the universe itself created all living things.
The universe doesn't need to find its purpose. It is a mathematically perfect equation that gives mankind purpose.
That we'd consider ourselves in any way capable of understanding the universe, much less an equation that drives it, is nothing but hubris. Ah, you... Divinity cannot be quantified, Captain. It is or it isn't. We are or... Ah, you and I... Everyone, regardless of ability to believe, is another facet of the universe contemplating... All right. Why have you come? All right. Why have you come? A great many things, in fact.
We could always use a hand rounding up supplies.
Or... Now here's an idea. There's an old printing press I've been trying to get up and running. I have always dreamed of subverting the colony's periodicals and turning the board's own propaganda against them. If I could get my message directly in the hands of Byzantium citizens, I'm sure they'd recognize the truth. Will you aid us in our cause? Wonderful. I requisitioned replacement rollers for it some time ago. Huxley should have delivered them yesterday. Speaking of which, where is Huxley?
You bought rollers? You haven't even cleared the wraps out yet. What are you doing wasting bits on... Wait, where is Huxley?
It seems we're out a runner. If you intend to help our cause, I'll ask you to meet our MSI supplier in her stead. One of our sympathizers, a woman named Carlotta, periodically buys goods on our behalf from Stellar Bay's store. Stellar Bay has caught on, but they remain friendly, though the goods now come at a considerable markup. She meets us in the ruins of Bayside Terrace. From our compound, follow the road north. Wonderful. While you're at it, I wonder if Carlotta still has those high-capacity cartridges? Grab a few, will you? There should be some funds left over from the last shipment. We can use them to copy and modify radio serials. Yes, not just magazines, but their precious dramas.
Unbelievable. I hope I don't have to tell you this, but if there is extra money, would you mind buying, I don't know, food and medicine? Graham, if you need me, I'll be in triage. Nice day, huh? The Monarch, anyway.
Get a whiff of that sweet sulfur air. This armor itches something awful.
Sure.
I'm going.
Not so fast. What do you think you're doing?
Here they come.
Sure.
Not so fast. stomach.
I've been mulling over everything, but upon further reflection, Graham's not as much of an idiot as I thought he'd be. But in other ways, he's worse. I'd urge you to be careful in future dealings with him, Captain. He's an unhinged zealot who lacks awareness of the consequences of his choices. I wouldn't trust him to lead a crew, let alone a town-wide cult. How so? Zora is militant, unbending, and ruthless for sure. I'd be hesitant to oppose her. But she gets results, and she doesn't suppress intelligent discourse. I can't believe you'd support Graham's riotous anarchism as Monarch's solution. But I trust you know what you are doing. So we'll leave it at that. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening. Nothing. The answer. It can be if abused. I've been mulling over. Upon further reflection, Graham, he's an. As much as I usually appreciate the board's ordered approach to governance, in Monarch's case, they aren't really running anything so much as leaving everyone to rot. Unless you agree with them that the inhabitants of Monarch should be forced to evacuate, or die from their stubborn rebelliousness. Zora is militant, unbending, and can't say I agree with the Iconoclasts, but Zora has what it takes to save Monarch. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Move along.
Hey.
Sure.
Sorry about earlier. Graham and I don't always see eye to eye. Besides, we just got our asses kicked in the ruins. When he's... Sorry about earlier. Besides, we just got our asses kicked in the ruins. Not a great time to yammer on about his printing press. Hey, you got some decency in you. Careful. That's rare around these parts, and folks are liable to try and take advantage of it. Yeah, name's Zora. I've been patching up the Iconoclast since day one. Whenever Graham's lack of foresight gets someone hurt, I get them back on their feet. If I can. You joking? It's Monarch. Can't set foot outside without being attacked by a beast or a marauder. The Mantiqueen showed up out of nowhere, and I guess the gunfire attracted Raptidons. It was a damn bloodbath. Listen, unless this is urgent, I need to oversee the wounded. You want to do us a favor or two? Go talk to Bronson. He's always looking to pass his work off on someone else. For now, I gotta get to the wounded. Welcome to Amber Heights. Shh. What do you think you're doing? Just don't let me see you here again. Nice day, huh? For Monarch, anyway.
Stringy bastard. Good thing Sora needs tendons.
I don't have time for this.
Ugh, my stomach.
All I'm saying is it ain't worth it. It's gonna taste like sulfur all the same.
Nuh-uh. Taro's got that sweet blood.
So? You gotta boil it or you'll get sick. Then all that sweetness takes the air anyhow.
Nah, don't boil it. We're gonna get sick all the same. Might as well enjoy it.
Don't boil. Do you want the runs?
Better than tasting sulfur and dirt every damn day. You meditate today?
Hey.
Hey, not so fast.
Trash cube.
Yeah, look at him. He just keeps making
Get a
it.
whiff of that.
It's fucking weird, Carl. I don't think he can hear you. He's in the zone.
Trash can zone.
You gotta admit, they're convenient. Fit together real nice.
Trash is trash. I don't care what shape it's in.
I guess.
Move along.
Hope Zora's next. Ugh, my stomach. You.
As you were.
Never seen you before. Not for me. Maybe for you. Come out here looking for some better life, kid? Ain't that the fucking truth? Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. It's pretty simple, kid. I sit at the bar, I drink, I mind my own business. That's it. Whoever said that must have been lying. Or maybe they was drunk. I don't know nothing a dozen better folk couldn't tell you. Look, you want to buy the drinks, I'll do my bit to keep you entertained. Just don't ask me to dance. I can't repay no kindnesses now. All right, so I reckon one of the most interesting places I've been is the Hot Pole. You know what that is? Exactly. This moon ain't big enough to rotate. It's locked. One side always facing Olympus, the other always facing away. Olympus might not be a star, but it throws off assloads of heat. Monarch's Hot Pole is the part that's closest to the gas giant. It's in the middle of this big mountain plateau. Volcanoes so high the peaks are in space. O2 breathers. The heat from Olympus is worse though. Close your eyes, you can see rays bursting through your eyeballs. Little streaks of light. The funny thing is, then in the middle there's just smooth rock. Circular-like. All the dust blown away. Pale gray with hair-fine cracks all over. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was lightheaded from the O2, but I felt like I had to take off the breather for a moment, put my ear to the ground. I wonder now if I imagined it. Trick of the air, the heat. It was at the edge of hearing, deep down, far off, irregular. Tap, 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 tap. The sound of a bird pecking out of a shell. Hell if I know. When there's a groundquake now, I hold my breath. Because I don't know if it's Olympus squeezing us for gravity, or wings getting stretched. I won't decline it. So, you know about the ocean? It's where the monarchists keep their salt tuna. There ain't a single native beast we can eat. Salt tuna were made in the lab. Goes all the way around the moon, at the twilight band. On one side, the volcanoes of the hot pole, on the other, the storm wall of the cold pole. Nobody knows how deep it is. Never needed to. The salt tuna keep near the surface. What's more interesting to me is the tides. Nobody's asked me that before. The way I hear it, it kind of wobbles back and forth. The ocean sloshes side to side as it does. On account of how big Olympus is, the tides are monsters. When it's low, the ocean pulls back miles. When it's high, entire islands go under. It ain't so bad in the bay. Likely why they built a city here. But one morning I've gone a ways east. Tides are out, and off in the mud I see something catching sun. I figured it must have been some corporate boat gone aground. Or maybe sunk by storm. Good salvage, right? Legit. Standing out there in the mud, miles from any place, is a circle of silver columns. 6 of them. About 2 stories tall. Seamless metal. While I'm standing there in the middle of them, my ears start pounding and I see shapeless things out of the corner of my eyes, gray, disappearing when I look straight at them. And that's what I figured later. At the time, I was fair distracted. About then, while I'm cussing into the dark miles from shore, I realize there's another sound in the distance. A roaring off in the night. The tide's coming in. It was a near thing. It gets up to my chest before I start outpacing it. But I didn't stop running until I was on something real damn tall. The weirdest thing? I went back the next low tide. Flew out with an AG loader. The calms were gone. And I've never seen them since. Sure as I can be. The moral is, the tides here will kill you if you ain't careful. So stay the fuck away from the water. I'm near out of stories. You'll have to enjoy this one. I told you before about the hot pole. The point of T of Monarch, closest to the gas giant. The cold pole is the side that always faces away from Olympus. That's where most of the water is, big sheets of ice. The warmest it gets is 40 below. So you got one end bitter cold and the other boiling hot. That's why there's constant wind, and why we have the storm wall. Where the hot air from one end meets the frigid air from the other, you get storms. You go far enough towards the cold side, you'll see it. A wall of ice cliffs, giant sheets cracking off into the sea, and overhead storm clouds, thick and rolling, snow and ice on gale force winds. Either one will kill you. Cold just tends to hurt more. Your skin cracks and bleeds. I was a stubborn cuss. I trudged through the storm wall. Had to do it in one go. If you stop for half an hour, you get buried. It was night when I made it through. 90 below and falling. Perfect dark, stars by the million. Forgot to breathe. It was, but that's not why I almost died. It was cold enough that CO2 froze out of the air. CO2 is what makes our brains go, you need to breathe. So I was standing there, head going all swimmy because I wasn't feeling no urge to breathe. Yeah, unconscious, asleep. Well, your body's got no urge to breathe on its own here. You're gonna die. People can live all sorts of places and survive all kinds of things. Too cold to want to breathe would be a mighty strange death. A great many things. I'll tell you what. You want to listen to an old man ramble? There might be a job in it for you. I used to run with a squad of mercenaries here. Good folk. A fella named Lamont introduced me. Thing is, I ain't seen them in an age. Stands to reason they got themselves ate. Mostly we protect the folk from the beasts here. If it spat, scratched, or stung, we'd kill it for you, so long as you had the bits. We split ways around the time this twice-fucked moon got abandoned. Thing is, I got myself some fond memories. We had some keepsakes of ours we kept in a lockbox, and I've been thinking about seeing it found. Thereabouts. I'll be glad for it, but I ain't stupid. This planet tends to get people killed. I just want some closure. Getting on in years, kid. Legs ain't working like they used to. Sulfur burns a little too long in the lungs. This joint's looking like my last home. Appreciate it, kid. I'm marking outposts on your map. You spend a lot of time out there. Might be a good place to start. Here's a key for the door. If you got in your... Nothing on this moon for nobody. Nah. Go out and live your life for a bit. Do something.
Hey. Huh.
This armor gives you something wrong. You meditate today? If not, you should.
Huh.
What do you think? You wanna fight? What do you think you're doing? I still ain't sure about this, but go on.
What was that? What was that? Hey! You! What do you think?
Hope Zora sends me on next. Heard something. What do you...
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades, no matter what my mama wishes. I take it she's still looking for me? Had hoped she'd accept my decision. According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life, she crammed a fear of danger down my throat. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can violate you. You'd fall in a sulfur pool. I stuck around way too long, ruled by her fears. I'm 42 years old, but she still sees me as a little boy in need of her protection. I won't stand for it, I tell you. She doesn't want to see me as anything other than her baby boy. Why would I go back again? What'll be different this time? You're right. I can do this. I just need to stand my ground and make her see she can't control me anymore. No one can. Captain. Captain. Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger? Welcome. You here to join the Iconoclast? Why, from the yoke of corporate tyranny. It's what all us iconoclasts strive for. With Graham at the helm, we want unfettered freedom, not the lies that MSI tries to sell in Stellar Bay. True escape from all rules and You want to know more? Listen to Graham's broadcasts. He's been talking up a storm, working to elevate the minds of all the corporate drones in this colony, getting them to rise up. It is. Just look at what a paradise Amber Heights is. We could take this world... No. Galaxy-wide.
Only the vastly ignorant, such as one who has never even seen a picture of Byzantium, could call this a paradise.
I've heard of that place. Graham once said the folks who live there are bound by chains they themselves bought. Sounds awful. Yeah, to Amber Heights, anyway. Only got here a few weeks ago. Was living in Stellar Bay before then. But I can't tell you how great it is to finally be free of them walls. Screw safe. I've had enough of playing it safe to last me a dozen lifetimes. A body's not meant to live such a guarded life. Everybody needs a little danger and excitement. Something to live for. That's what you get outside the walls. And that's what I got right here. The Iconoclasts welcomed me into the fold. They're teaching me how to survive and truly be free. That's worth more to me. Sorry about that. It stems from some, family trauma. I don't want to talk about it. I am not a... Don't go play with... I stuck around way too... She doesn't want to see me. You're right. Captain.
By verity, what are we...
Captain.
Hey! Not... Alright, get out of here.
Good luck in all that you do.
Excuse me, but this area's off limits. We got a leaky generator. It ain't safe. That's my nice way of telling you to sod off. We're fixing a leaky generator. What's it to you? Why are you asking me questions instead of sucking sulfur? Get out of here! What are you, a safe? Oh, whoops. I'll get right on that. We're fixed. Right. Carlotta. Yeah, she's inside. We got first rights, though. Soon as we fix that generator, she's ours. You'd have to ask the boss. I just know she wants Carlotta voided. And I'm just gonna let you walk on in? Why's that now? Oh, of all the Void damned. I ain't getting eaten alive for a couple of bits. Pack it up, crew! We're going, we're going.
hands, Cap.
Get it up! Get it up! You're hurt.
Quiet. What are you up to out there? Hello? You can't be serious. Who are... Hello? You can't be serious. Who are you anyway? Oh, finally! Tell Graham that this is the last run I'm doing. Sanjar's declared a stop sale to you lot, but even if he hadn't, I'm not risking my neck anymore.
I don't know how you got those goons to leave, but thank you. Graham ordered rollers and whatsits, right? For a printing press? Here, take them. Like I said, this is my last run. You'd have to ask him. All I know is that if I get caught, I'll get arrested. It's an enviable thing he's doing. Free people and all that. I can't live that way. I need my structure. But I respect the iconoclasts for doing it. Law help them. I don't know. Maybe Sublight can lend a hand. I should go. Look, Graham's got a bit or two left in his account. I can send one last dropout before I wash my hands of this. What do you want delivered? I always took that woman for the sensible type. Good on her. I'll send some along. Give them all my regards. And good luck out there. Don't go getting eaten.
Good luck in all that you do.
What are you buying? I'll be damned. Thanks for doing that. Here. Zora sets aside a bit or two for people who help out. Before you ask, no, it ain't pay. Just being generous to folks who do a good... Hey, thanks again for helping out. What can I do you for?
Step lively, Ms. Holcomb.
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot wasn't untied.
Would hate for you to get left behind, or architect forbid, become lost.
Carry on.
Gonna need to buy myself an entire Rizzo plant.
I'm telling you, the Van Noys are fine.
Bullshit, Graham. They don't just abandon orders, and they weren't at the ruins. Where in this sulfur-sodden hellhole did you send them?
They're on a very important... Ah, we'll continue this later. Welcome back, Captain. You needn't concern yourself with
Trifling logistics? They're our best unit, and now they're missing in action.
And we'll continue that discussion later.
Thank the Eternal that someone's got some sense in their head. Carlotta usually schedules the next drop during the meeting. When's she coming?
That is most unfortunate. This cuts off one of our only 2 supply lines on Monarch. Sanjar, old friend, you're about to cross a dangerous line.
About to? That idiot just declared war.
We will deal with his subversion later. For now, we must redouble our efforts to spread the truth to the colony. I've already sent a team ahead to scout the press, one of our best. Meet them there and find out if they've been successful.
You sent the Van Noys there, didn't you? Oh, for fuck's sake, Graham! We needed them in the ruins. Our people died out there.
They went willing to fight for our cause. We need reinforcements. We need new recruits. The Van Noys saw the printing facility with the same importance as I.
Is a printing press really worth all these people's lives? There's gotta be a better way to get your message out.
I have the utmost confidence in their abilities. Friends, we must have faith that the men and women we recruit can handle the duties for which we recruit them.
Yes, you're damn right he could have. But he's so obsessed with preaching that he's become blind to our actual problems. Look, if the Van Noys are still alive, get them out of there. With Sanjar pressing the issue like this, I have a feeling we'll need them.
Welcome.
law have mercy on you. I won't. Don't mess with us!
Watch out, Captain!
Drop that!
Everyone all right?
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some. We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rats keeps us on our toes. Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
Oh, hey there. Thanks again for getting me away from those marauders. You want to buy something? No, don't be absurd. I'm based out of Stellar Bay, but I cater to our more, trailblazing clientele. Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary, really. I was on my way to Fallbrook and got jumped by insane, bloodthirsty cannibals. It happened. Hey, life's too short to be worried about danger this and careful. Hello again. You want... Hello again. You.
Fight on our hands.
Down they go!
Careful, you're hurt! Sometimes violence is the only way! Let me handle them!
Take cover!
Please, you don't have to do this. Just let us down from here. The humidity is really uncomfortable.
Smell something. We've got a fight on our hands. A fine hit, Captain!
You gotta get over there, Captain. Maybe they're still alive.
We've got a fight on our hands. Great work.
Yeah, huh?
By Verity, what are we
The strong survive and the weak perish. I'll keep.
You got it, Captain!
Sometimes violence is the only way. Incoming!
As always, anything you...
Hello? Hello? I hear boots out there. Wait, can rats wear boots? Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Mantiqueen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here and, now the door's locked. Little help? Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross. Sure. Beats not answering questions. Huxley. I'm an Iconoclast runner. The Iconoclast runner. Fastest we've got. Ain't a Raptidon on this void-forsaken hellhole that can catch me. I'm sorry. Put me in a tiny room like this and I'm liable to flip. Not keen on tight spaces, you know? Oh, that'd be my people. Graham and Zora and Milton and... I really miss them. You gonna let me out of here? I want to get back to Amber Heights. My buddy locked me in here. I told you that. It was for my safekeeping, on account of Raptidons wanting to munch on my head. But, I mean, okay, yes, fine. I get myself into sticky situations. It's just part of the life, all right? Sometimes you got... Oh, neither was I. Who'd hide in a trash can? Gross. Get me out of here! What do you mean? It's locked. dead. Oh, my eternal soul, it worked!
Ah, phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights. Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy, and hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend? But I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect? Can do. Thanks a lot, mister. Ah, fresh sulfur. Good to be outside.
Got him!
Let me handle them! I'm on it! I smite you in the name of the law!
I'll fix you right up!
We are just that good.
I wonder what secrets these ruins contain.
I wonder who used to live here. Do you suppose anyone remembers anymore?
Here I go!
That's the last of them.
I'll keep quiet.
That's gotta hurt.
the iconoclast, asshole!
Hope you're here to help. We only got so many bullets left, and I ain't keen on using one on you.
Thanks, but I ain't sure the mission is worth it.
You keep spewing that sulfur, I'm liable to leave you to the rats. What my well-meaning idiot of a brother intends to say is, we appreciate the assist. Would that we could. We ain't leaving our men behind, and they ain't moving on their own. Our medic has got our trauma kit, but we got separated. We ain't seen him in a couple of hours. Yeah, on account of giving him the order. He's searching the old settlement to the north of the press.
Talk to me.
Nice hit! I'll take your confession now!
Leave him to me!
I'll take...
Here goes nothing! Attacking!
Here's a little trick I learned in prison. Attacking! Nice hit! I'm on it! It burns!
You're a deft hand with a mag pick.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
Let's go!
Shouldn't have stood in our way. I've had quite enough of you! I'll take care of them!
I'm on it!
Work, Captain!
I'll fix you right up!
That was a hell of a soiree.
Tell that to the wounded. Their blood's flowing all right.
Hey, we're still alive, ain't we? Graham was right all along. The truth shields us.
The truth, yeah. And a healthy amount of 44 calibers.
Yes, let's. Get us our medic back, and we'll get out of here. Oh, fuck. Well, that's better than nothing. Thanks. We'll head out as soon as we're patched up. Thanks for the assist.
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated and unstoppable.
I don't know, Mr. Vicker. That seems like quite a leap.
If you'll just listen...
No! No more listening. No more preaching. We are losing people left and right. We need to act.
Enough, Zora. I'm not putting the torch to innocent people. Do you want to bring the board's cruisers and gunships down on us? Captain, apologies, but our situation grows dire. Our people talk of foolish endeavors. What news do you bring?
We're out of time. We need food and ammunition. We need to hit Stellar Bay while we still have the manpower to do it. Yes, I know it's drastic, but it's clear that Sanjar will never cooperate. And if it's him or us, I choose us. Doubtful, but we don't need much, and Sanjar isn't going to share. It is. We are desperate. We're starving. My people are dying left and right.
Excellent.
Did you find the Vanois? Lucky indeed. Thank you.
We're one step closer to bringing the truth to every man, woman, and child in Halcyon. This plan's brilliance is in its subtlety. For the time being, let us cease our activities on the tower, lest we bring premature attention upon us. I have much to do, articles to write, sermons to ponder. We live in such an exciting time. Let's talk later.
Hey, I need to see to the wounded, but drop by the clinic when you can. I want a word. Hey, Captain. I need your help, and we ought to keep it hush-hush. You know about what happened here, right? The history of Amber Heights?
I heard about that back in the day. Something about pirates massacring the town?
Right. Common belief is that the pirates fled to an old relay station that had already been abandoned, but nobody could find them. The station's locked up, but one of my people found an old data cartridge in a nearby raft nest. It's mostly corrupted, but I pulled a couple codes off of it. One is the code to the Amber Heights gate. I don't recognize the other, but it's similar. I bet it opens a door. Right. The access codes to Amber Heights. What gets me is, if this belonged to the pirates, that means they knew someone there. If someone gave them the gate code, all those deaths, Captain, all that blood is on their hands. Graham isn't fond of talking about the history here. He had friends who worked here. The massacre hit him pretty hard. You know him. Live and let live and all that. I surely do. But it's not far, and if they died in there, they died with their munitions. We'll need them. Besides, if it's filled with valuables from the aristocrats who lived here, we can pawn them off on Sublight and get ourselves ahead on our food budget. Just a warning. The area's infested with mantisaurs. I'd send some help, but we're, preparing for war. Appreciate it. Here's the code. If it works, bring back anything you find. Supplies are best, but information's good too. If someone was behind the Amber Heights massacre, it'd give a lot of people around here some closure to find out who and string them up. Good luck. Watch out for the Taros. Welcome back.
Where are we headed?
What? Sorry. Long day. Hey, Cap.
Phil?
Right. Common belief is that the station's locked up. It's mostly corrupt. I know it's a long shot, but if we miss something there, I sure just appreciate someone was good luck.
My dad taught me some French, you know? Stuff about omelets and, fromage. I could take a look at that journal.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ugh, my stomach.
Oh, Captain, you did it! My little boy is back, safe and sound. Tell the captain how grateful we are, Tuk Tuk.
Mama, I told you that I'm not staying. I just came back to talk to you about why I left. Then I'm going back to Amber Heights.
Oh, we'll get that silliness sorted out. You're safe here with me, and that's how it's going to stay. Isn't that right? What a sour thing to say. My little boy will always need me. I'm his mama, you know.
Mama, what I need is for you to listen to what I want for once. But that's between us. Now you promised the captain a reward, so settle up. Then you and me are gonna have a long talk.
Here, kind stranger. This is every bit I've scrimped and scraped for years to save. But it's more than worth it to have my Tuk Tuk home safe again.
Don't worry about me, Captain. Mama and I'll work this out.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal.
In case I did not impress it upon you before, I'd like to enjoy...
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Watch your step if you venture out. Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
Smells like wrapped in here. Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian to cover up the saltiness.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just as usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's ship. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 spacer. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Thank you. I think. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
Are you absolutely sure of that, Ms. Ballard?
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong. Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Fine by me. That he's got his load on and I'm stuck covering his shift? That's... Wow. I sure feel like an ass now. Oh, sure. Because Monarch's just teeming with experts in the finer points of salt tuna health. Still, it's good to know what happened to him. And that I ought to start looking for a replacement. Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. I don't even want to think about that. Or how far behind Braxton's loss alone is going to put us. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately.
If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
Poor Braxton. Just when I thought he was...
Gosh, that's clever.
Wouldn't mind smelling like salt tuna if we could sell.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just, your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh. I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? He's getting his raise. I don't see that we've got any more. Something else on your mind?
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for Rap Musk.
Bet they also pay to make it stink less.
Supposedly, it makes you more attractive for, you know.
Trust me, no one's going near you like this.
We're not used to outsiders around here. Come to share a secret with Auntie Abigail? You seen Graham's new magazines?
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths. I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch? Ha! Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwaves with his propaganda. Like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch. Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. They were pretty distinct. Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team, started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do. If it isn't the famous, what can I do for you?
We don't get many outsiders.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
If you leave town, watch out for They're almost as bad as the rats. What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this.
If you leave town, watch out for iconoclasts. They're almost as bad as the raps. Hey! What do you think you're doing?
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away. Have you talked to Sebastian yet? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask.
She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna. Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain. I have people to look after. I need to be practical.
That's why Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Returning to the board is your only chance if you hope to survive here on Monarch. That doesn't mean it'll be easily achievable.
Indeed not. No worthwhile plan was ever simple. That's what I always say.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. Sort of. Really, we're just going to blackmail them into offering us a seat at the table.
But really, whatever gets you excited about the idea. It's definitely a firm middle finger.
That's what I like to hear. I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Mr. Nandi may be correct. If the masses learn that the board disregards their own ordinances, it'd give rise to dissent. MSI could use this information to their advantage.
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board.
You really think so?
I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. That's part of the problem. She has certain ambitions for Stellar Bay, and I fear my asking her would give her the leverage she's been looking for.
Don't get yourself worked up, sir. It's perfectly natural to have a healthy fear of her.
Oh, she's not fun scary like you, just scary. But that's why you'll be equipped to handle her. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. I knew you were the right person for the job. I suppose I'll leave you to it. This has been my albatross, the great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. One of the executives required a transplant. I thought volunteering to donate might improve my prospects. Apparently not. Oh, perhaps they were right. After all, what have I built? Stellar Bay is barely keeping afloat. I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. It's true, the board has treated us unfairly, but I'd always envisioned that things could be different. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2, but back then it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. Ah, so you've heard about our prior acquaintance. I suppose you're right. Graham's always had a way with words. Strange as it may seem, I suspect he'd have quite the corporate career if he weren't so radical. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago, and we both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. Reforms are humane, but they're also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. Indeed. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. Why wouldn't to be on? Indeed, if membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more... I've discovered it's much easier. My hope... What can I do? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? He's not the brightest of minds, but he makes up for it with enthusiasm.
That's not what I would call it.
Still, I had him posted on the landing pad in hopes that he'd stay out of everyone's way. I'll see about additional training.
Poor Braxton. I don't want to think of it.
Come to share a secret with Auntie Abigail?
Because I don't want to.
I'm not used to outside help around
My boy says he'll only stay a few days before returning. Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
In case I did not...
You ever think about what goes on in the Marauder's
We don't
head?
get many outsiders.
No, they're crazy.
But they still manage to feed themselves, dress themselves, work
We're not
together.
used to outside
Gotta be
help
something of
around
that.
here.
All I need
You
to
don't
know
look
is that
like
they're on
Sublight.
Ah, the Charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business. All of the above? More or less dangerous than a steady supply of alcohol. Give it here. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go. Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
Long as you've got my back, I'll have yours. Welcome to the Unreliable Crew.
Real honorable work.
Oh, no. Monarch ain't safe, even with me around. I've just got intimate knowledge of its dangers and an abundance of fortitude. Folks hire me because I know what you can shoot and what you ought to run from. That's a mistake you only get to make once. What's up? What? You want to know something? I didn't. I was born into security detail, and when the corporations abandoned this place, I stayed. I mean, I wasn't sent off to school like I should have been. I was born here, and my parents kept me. Raised under the monarch sky. Been breathing sulfur since I knew how to smell it. This place is all I know. I don't have a single spot I call home. Wherever I can sit in peace with a bottle is good enough for me. But yes, I've always been on Monarch. In a sense. My parents took off when the corporations did. I took to companionship with a few friends here for a time, but those days are long past. No, we weren't close. And before you ask, there ain't a story there. We just never saw eye to eye on the corporations. Drifted apart over time. It's fine. It ain't exactly easy to hitch a ride off planet, Captain. Besides, I hear Terra 2's all corporate. The way folks talk about the board and their ilk, think I prefer the beasts. Good. I took a job once to clear out a rap nest. Partnered up with a fellow out of Fallbrook who called himself Dirty Don. Bit on the shorter side. Had a penchant for cards. Thing is, he introduces himself and the man is immaculate. Clean. He had a flowery presence to him. A pleasantness that didn't invade your space. He was just there and you were glad for it. When we set out to hunt down the Raptidons, I found out firsthand where his nickname came from. Dirty Don killed those Raptidons with his bare hands. His bare fucking hands, Captain. He was a whirlwind of grotesque primal fury. In the end, he stood drenched in blood over the entrails of a dozen Raps. If he had a scratch on him, I wouldn't have been able to tell. It was glorious. Day came when he tried to take on a Mantiqueen. Got himself eaten one limb at a time. Wonder if he tasted like soap. Oh well, live and learn. No matter how tough you are, if you're gonna fight something bigger than you, bring a fight. What's up? You ever name a place? Ever come to a spot in the world you think ought to be remembered? Those don't count. Those names were paid for. I name things and places quite often. Rotting River, Golden Rock, the Horizon's Edge. Anytime I come to a spot I think is worth remembering, I name it. It's easy to get lost in the wilderness. I don't mean physically. All you need is a clear night sky to get your bearings. I mean, it's easy to spend a few weeks camping with the Raps and you start to forget what it's like to be human. When a beast growls at you, maybe you start to growl back. Those little spots, a rock here, river there, I'd name them so that in those moments, I could remind myself not where I was, but who I was. Well, we eat, we drink and holler and fuck. On some level, we all function the same. But they ain't got memories or attachments to places, to friends, to themselves. I found that every once in a while, my own attachments would start to slip. Then I'd take a drink from the rotting river, find my spirit refreshed. Anyway, enough sentimental yammering. Let's find a drink or a tart.
Got any news from the rep? Mr. Halcyon?
What was it like in Edgewater? I hear you workers were on the clock every available moment.
We always got 8 hours a day for sleeping. Just not always consecutive.
My condolences. I appreciate consistent wages like any other sane person, but that still sounds awful. At least Sanjar gives his folks weekends.
Weekends?
Hand to the void. I used to drop by the bar in Stellar Bay to knock a few back with the folks who had Saturdays off.
Don't know what I'd have done with that much time. I was always behind schedule anyhow.
Knowing you, you'd sit and be alone with your thoughts.
Why don't you grab a chair? Sit. Got an update for us? How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with the bit card of her own accord. As agreed, here's your compensation. Ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse. Best get back to work. Don't want to give Velma a reason to change her mind.
Nice to see Nyoka on the mend.
Didn't think I'd see Tucker.
Nice to see Nyoka on the mend. What do you think you're doing? All right. Don't let me catch you here again.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come. Sorry, I just get so excited, and I always... Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker, too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
You seen Graham?
You seen Graham's new mech?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls. You trying to get us all in trouble?
You think maybe you could get some of your friends in there?
You seen Graham's new magazine? They're certainly colorful.
Something.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking?
In case.
What do you think of the unreliable Parvati?
There's always something to fix, and it's neat working in the Aether. I always took Atmo for granted. Now, if I drill through the hole, we'll suffocate. Exciting, you know?
I'm not sure I wanted to know that. Being in space sets me on edge enough.
You know about stellar emissions? Actually, I probably shouldn't tell you about those. I mean, not unless you want to know how we're all likely to get spacers lung.
Right. Okay. When we get back to the ship, I'm drinking this conversation right out of my recollection.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Sebastian, you ever get your hands on those pheromone sacs? Manipillars ain't gonna hunt themselves, you know.
I must have hunted a dozen, but I couldn't find a single sack on any of them. Must be looking in the wrong place.
Manipillars ain't got pheromone sacs. I just told him that so he'd stop asking me for advice.
At least I'm getting a good haul of claws in the process. You're in good hands, traveling with Monarch's top merc. Still, if you want any rat glands or manticlaws, I've got... Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well, but we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
You look like a man who... Yeah,